Hum. Hum. Okay, I'm trying meditating and it's just not working. I'm not erasing any of myself. Yes, this is Mr. Daniels. I was doing my impersonation of Stargirl and Leo in the last chapter. Maybe Cinnamon the Rat can meditate better than me because it's just not working. Why don't we go ahead and just move on to chapter 18? Let's get started. We were alone. We were the only ones in school. At least how it seemed in the following days. And as I went about my day, I felt her going about hers. I sensed her movement, her presence in the distant parts of the building. Walking in the halls between classes, I didn't have to see her. I knew she was there, unseen in the mob, heading my way, about to turn the corner 5 classroom doors down. I homed in on the beacon of her smile. As we approached each other, the noise and the students around us melted away, and we were utterly alone, passing, smiling, holding each other's eyes. Floors and walls gone, 2 people in a universe of space and stars. And then one day I began to discover that we were more than alone than I had dreamed. It was a Thursday. Normally on that day, after 3rd period, Stargirl and I would pass each other on the 2nd floor around the teacher's lounge. We would smile and say hi and continue on our way to our separate classes. On this day, impulsively, I fell in alongside her. "How about an escort?" I said. She grinned slyly. "Anybody in mind?" We touched little fingers and walked on. Her next class was on the 1st floor, so we went downstairs the nearest stairway. We were walking side by side. That's when I noticed. No one spoke to us. No one nodded to us. No one smiled at us. No one looked at us. A crowded stairway and no shoulder, no sleeve brushed us. Students climbing the steps veered to the railing or wall, except for Stargirl, jabbering in my ear. The usual raucous chatter was absent. Mostly, what I noticed were the eyes. Faces turned down from the steps below, but the eyes never connected with us. They went right on through us as if they were gamma rays, or they nipped our ears and rattled off the walls in other eyes. I had an urge to look down at myself to make sure I was there. At lunch, I said to Kevin, "Nobody looks at me." He was staring at a sandwich. "Kevin!" I snapped. "Now you're doing it!" He came up laughing. He looked me square in the eyes. "Sorry." Usually, there were others at the table. Today, there was only us. I leaned across my lunch. "Kevin, what's going on?" He looked off, then back to me. "Well, I was wondering when you'd notice. Kind of hoping you wouldn't." "Notice what?" He stalled by taking a bite of his tuna salad sandwich. He took his time chewing, drank the orangeade from a straw. "First of all, it's not you." I pulled back. I held out my hands. "It's not me? What's that supposed to mean?" "It's who you're with." I sat there blinking, staring at him. "Stargirl?" He nodded. "Okay," I said. "So?" He stared at me some more, chewed, swallowed, sipped, looked away, looked back. "They're not talking to her." The words didn't stick. "What do you mean? Who's they?" He cocked his head at the sea of tables and eaters. "Them." "Who them?" I said, too unhinged to laugh at my grammar. He wet his lips. "All of them," he shrugged. "Well, almost." His eyes drifted over my shoulder. "There's still 2 girls sitting with her." I glanced back. At the height of Stargirl's popularity, kids had been pulling chairs from other tables to squeeze in around hers. Now, it was just Stargirl, Dory Dilson, and a 9th grader. "So," I said, "exactly what's going on?" He sipped from his straw. "The silent treatment's going on. Nobody's talking to her." It still wasn't sticking. "What do you mean? Nobody's talking to her. What, did everyone have a meeting in the gym and vote on it? Well, it wasn't official. It just happened. Got up steam. I gaped at him. When? When did it start? How? Why? I was beginning to screech. I don't know exactly. After the basketball stuff, I guess. That really ticked a lot of people off. The basketball stuff? He nodded. The basketball stuff, I repeated dumbly. He put down his sandwich. Leo, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Cheering for the other team. What do you think? People are going to think that was cute? It was her, Kevin. It was harmless. Weird maybe, but harmless. It was her. He nodded slowly. Yeah, well, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's not just one thing she said. It's everything. Don't tell me you ever noticed. Remember a certain tomato? Kevin, a couple months ago, everybody stood and cheered in the auditorium when she won the oratorical contest. Hey, he gestured defensively. Tell them. The one person threw the tomato won. Kevin snickered. Yeah, and 1,000 wanted to. Did you notice when the cheers when it happened? People blame her for the team losing, for the undefeated season going down the toilet. I wasn't sure Kevin was still talking about them. Kevin, I felt myself pleading. She was only a cheerleader. Leo, he was pointing. You asked me what was going on. I told you. He stood up and took his tray to the belt. I stared at his empty chair until he returned. Kevin, the happy birthday songs, the Valentine's cards, all the nice things she does for people, doesn't that count for something? The bell rang. He got up. He gathered his books. He shrugged. Guess not. For the rest of the day, and the next, I grew increasingly paranoid. Walking with her around the school, I was intensely aware of the nature of our aloneness had changed. It was no longer a cozy tunnel of love sweetness, but a chilling isolation. We never had to veer, never had to make way for someone else. Everyone made way for us. Hallway crowds fell away from us, except for Hillary Kimball. Whenever we passed her, she tilted toward us with a gloating smirk on her face. As for Stargirl, she didn't seem to notice. She jabbered constantly in my ear. While I smiled and nodded to her, frost formed on the back of my neck. Oh dear. Hey, I wonder if any of you have ever had the silent treatment been done to you, or maybe you've done it to somebody else. I don't know. I think it's kind of a middle school thing. Truly, I do. Maybe even high schoolers do it. Shoot, I think even adults could do it. You know, you ever have someone that come up to you and say, hey, I really don't like what so-and-so did. We're just going to ignore today. You know, sometimes, yeah, words can hurt you, but when you're ignored, oh my dear, that it's like tearing your heart out. You want to be noticed. You want to be accepted. And when you're ignored and you're giving your attention to other people, man, that just cuts straight to the heart. Talk about that. That's brutal. That what Leo is going through right now. Now, the question I have for you, Leo obviously is feeling this this isolation, this ignoring. What is more important to Leo in your minds? Do you think it is Stargirl and his love for her, their new budding relationship, or do you think his acceptance of the rest of the school is more important? Talk about that. That's a great discussion question. We're going to go ahead and close up this chapter. Moving on to find out what happens to Leo in chapter 19 is coming up next. Have a great day, guys. God bless.